Make your way into child's pose. Knees together or knees wide, hips back towards the heels. And finding a way to rest the forehead, whether that's on the floor, on your hands, or on a block. And then take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and then out through the mouth. Draw your awareness to the quality of your breath. Not doing anything to change it, simply observing the length and depth of your inhale and the length and depth of your exhale. Draw your awareness now to your current physical state, checking in with any sensations throughout the body. Draw your awareness to your mental state, checking in with any thoughts or emotions. Positive, negative, neutral, all is welcome. Take a moment to identify something that you are grateful for, or someone. And then we'll take one final moment here to set an intention for our practice. Choose one word or name in which you'd like to dedicate this movement, this time, and this breath. Recite this intention to yourself 3 times. And then when you're ready, we'll move into a tabletop position, nice and slow, building a nice stable foundation so the hands plant underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips, engaging the elbow. And then moving through some cat-cow. As you inhale, tilt the tailbone up towards the sky, lift the crown of the head, look forward or up. And then exhale, hug your navel to your spine and tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale for cow, dropping the belly, squeezing the shoulder blades. And exhale into cat, hugging navel to spine and pushing the floor away from you, filling the space behind the heart. We'll do that 3 more times, moving with your own breath. Allow the inhale to initiate the movement, pausing the movement at the top of the inhale, and then engaging with the counter movement with the exhale, and pausing the movement at the bottom of the exhale. is complete, we'll come into a neutral spine and then lift the hips up and back into downward dog, pressing into thumb, index finger, pinky finger, and then resisting with the balls of the feet. You can rest in stillness here, pedal up the legs, or sway the hips side to side, whatever feels good in the body. With an inhale, look forward and journey towards the top of your mat, coming into Uttanasana, standing forward fold, a nice generous bend in the knees so you can relax your belly to your legs. Exhale, and then with your next inhale, rise all the way to stand, reaching the hands skyward, and then exhale, bring your hands down to heart center, resting into Tadasana, and pause here for a moment. Taking a moment to reconnect with your intention. And then with an inhale, reach your hands up and back, arching the spine. Exhale, fold forward and plant the hands. With your next inhale, step the right foot back and drop the knee. Lift the gaze, low lunge. Exhale, step back to high plank, always option to drop the knees, and lower knees, chin, chest for Ashtangasana. Inhale forward, drop the pelvis, lift the chest, cobra. And exhale back into downward dog. We'll take one full cycle of breath here. And then with your next inhale, step the right foot forward, drop the back knee, lift the gaze, low lunge other side. Exhale, step to the top of the mat, Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand, reaching the hands up and back, arch the spine. And exhale, return hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands. This time, inhale, steps the left foot back, drop the knee, lift the gaze, low lunge. Exhale, step back, high plank. And lower down knees, chin, chest, Ashtangasana, 8-limb pose. Inhale, drop the pelvis, lift the chest, look forward or up, cobra. And exhale, press the hips up and back for downward dog. One full cycle of breath here. And as you inhale, step the left foot through the hands, drop the back knee, low lunge. And exhale, step to the top of the mat, Uttanasana. Inhale, reach up and back, rising. And exhale, hands to heart center, Tadasana, mountain pose. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, fold. Inhale, steps the right foot back, drop the knee, lift the gaze. Exhale, step back, high plank. Lower knees, chin, chest. Inhale, cobra, Bhujangasana. And exhale, downward dog. One breath, in and out. Inhale, we'll step the right foot through the hands. Drop the back knee, lift the gaze. Exhale, Uttanasana at the top of the mat. Inhale, rise to stand, sweeping the hands up and back, lifting the heart. And exhale, hands to heart center. Last one. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, fly forward. Inhale, steps the left foot back this time, drop the knee, lift the gaze. Exhale, step back, high plank. Continue to exhale as you lower down for 8-limb pose. Inhale, forward for cobra, use the entirety of the breath. Exhale, back into downward dog. Inhale, steps the left foot through the hands. And then drop the back knee. Exhale, step to the top of the mat, Uttanasana, standing forward fold. And inhale, rise all the way to stand, reaching up and back. And exhale, hands to heart center, pausing in Tadasana once more. This time checking in with your breath, noting any shifts that may have occurred. Checking in with your heart rate. And the heat of the body. And then with an inhale, we'll pick up the right leg, step the right foot to the back of the mat and pivot on the feet so you're facing the long edge of your mat. Take the arms out wide, palms down, reaching in opposite directions. And turn your right toes to face the back of the mat. Hinging at the hips, reach behind you. Bring the right arm down, left hand up to the sky, working to stack the shoulders. Keep the knees engaged. And take your chin towards the left shoulder, keeping the neck long, and gazing towards the left middle finger. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Inhale, rise back up to vertical, turn the right toes in, left toes out, keep the hips and shoulders square. Hinging at the hips, when you can't reach any more, bring the left hand down and right hand to the sky. Stacking the shoulders. Equal weight distributed through the feet. And with an inhale, rise, coming back up to vertical. Turn the left toes in, right toes out, this time bending into the right knee for Warrior 2. Keep the arms reaching long, hips and shoulders remain square. Again, chin comes towards the right shoulder, gaze towards the right middle finger. Stacking the right knee over the ankle. Stay grounded through the pinky toe edge of both feet. Inhale, straighten out that right leg, turn the right toes in, left toes out, bend into the left knee this time, Warrior 2, other side. Both knees are engaged. Neck is long, crown lifted. Inhale, straighten out the left leg, turn the left toes in and right toes out. Bending back into that right knee, bring your right forearm to right thigh and then reach the left hand overhead for extended side angle. Ground down through the pinky toe edge of the back foot and then reach through the left fingertips. Maybe even look to the left fingertips. Inhale to rise, straightening out the right leg, turn the right toes in, left toes out, bend into the left knee. Extended side angle other side, left forearm to left thigh, and reach the right hand overhead. One long line from the right foot all the way out the right fingertips. Smooth, steady breath. And then inhale, rise up, straightening out the legs, turn the toes in, heels out, arms out wide. Inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, hinge at the hips, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. If you can reach the floor, plant the hands shoulder distance apart, elbows in line with the wrists, and then walk the hands either towards or even through the feet. If you can't reach the floor, then you can hold on to opposite elbows and ragdoll. Keep the neck long, and breathe smoothly in and out of the nose. Inhale, lift halfway, returning the hands to the hips, and exhale here. With the following inhale, rise to stand, taking the arms out wide. Exhale, return the hands to the hips, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, squeeze the elbows together, lift the chest, and exhale, hinge at the hips, coming back into our wide-legged forward fold. This time, keep the hands on the hips and continue to squeeze the elbows towards each other. It may feel tender to return to this posture since we've been here before. It may feel more accessible because we've been here before. Or you may also find that we aren't able to come in quite as deeply because we don't have the extra weight of the hands overhead working with gravity to bring us deeper into the posture. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale here. Inhale, rise to stand, taking the arms out wide. Pivot the left foot to face the front and step to the top of the mat for Tadasana, mountain pose. We'll take a moment here in Tadasana to check in with your physical state, temperature, sensation, textures, noting if there have been any shifts from the beginning of class until now. With your next inhale, reach the hands up and back, arching the spine, lifting the chest. And exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana, planting the hands. Inhale, steps the right foot back, drop the knee, and stay here in low lunge for 5 deep, full breaths. The toes can be tucked or untucked, whatever feels more natural to you. Targeting the right hip flexor group here, running through the front side of that right leg. And then we'll send the hips back to stack over the right knee, lengthening out the left leg. It does not have to be totally straight, especially if you're feeling an intense stretch through the back side of the leg. We're targeting the left hamstring here. However, if the hamstrings are tight, you may also feel intense sensation through the glute and the lower back. Make sure you're breathing. And then we'll bend back into that left knee and step back to high plank. Exhale, lower down to Ashtangasana. Inhale, forward drop the pelvis for Cobra. And exhale back into Downward Dog. Taking 1 full cycle of breath when you arrive here. Inhale, we'll step the right foot through the hands, drop the back knee, coming into low lunge on the other side, targeting that left hip flexor group this time. Remember, you can tuck or untuck the toes. coming into half splits, sending the hips to stack over the left knee, lengthening out that right leg this time. One side can feel a lot different than the other. That might mean it also looks a little bit different than the other side. The right toes can be pointed, flexed, or relaxed. And then bend back into that right knee. Exhale, step to the top of the mat, Uttanasana. And inhale, rise all the way to stand, reaching the hands up and back, arch the spine. And exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Now, taking a moment to check in with your mental state, noting any shifts that may have occurred in your thought, mood, or attitude. And then heel to the feet hip distance apart. Bring the hands in line with the shoulders, palms down. And inhale, rise up onto your tiptoes. As you exhale, sink the hips down to rest the hips on the heels, or as close as you can. Eventually, the forearms will be parallel with the thighs, thighs parallel with the earth, shoulders stacked over the hips for awkward pose. Breathing in and out of the nose. As you inhale, use the breath to rise and stand. Keep the arms as they are, lower the heels. And heel toe the feet just slightly wider than hip distance apart. Come back up onto the toes, bring the knees to touch. And this time, exhale, lower down. Keep the knees together. The heels will be outside of the hips this time. The key to standing balance is a smooth rhythmic breath. When the breath becomes erratic, movement becomes erratic. Breathing steadily in and out of the nose. Use the inhale to rise. And lower the heels. We'll take the arms out wide. Palms to the sky. Slight bend in the elbow. Feet are hip distance apart once more. Sitting up for eagle pose, Garudasana, we're going to draw the right knee in towards the chest, working on stabilizing the standing leg, and then wrap the right leg around the left leg. You might even be able to hook your toes around the calf. If not, just continue to press the thighs together. And then right arm comes underneath the left, wrapping forearms together, maybe palms touch. If not, you can always rest your palms on opposite shoulders, elbows away from you. Sinking the hips down into an imaginary chair for Garudasana. Inhale, slowly unwind the arms. And then exhale, unwind the legs. Keep the arms out wide, palms skyward, elbows down. Working on stabilizing that right leg this time. We'll draw the left knee in towards the chest. And then wrap the left leg around your standing leg. Maybe hook the toes. One side might be more accessible than the other. And then your left arm will come underneath the right this time. Regardless if you have your palms touching or if you're resting your palms on the shoulders, lift the elbows up and away from the body to create space in between the shoulder blades. And with an inhale, unwind upper body. And with an exhale, unwind lower body. Release the arms down to Tadasana. Remember what you are grateful for throughout this practice. And inhale, reach the hands up to the sky, arch the spine. Exhale, fly forward and plant the hands. Inhale, steps the left foot back, drop the knee. We're going to set up for pigeon. So heel toe that right foot across the mat and then drop the knee down. Make sure the hips are square towards the front of the room and take a peek over your shoulder to make sure that the bat leg is straight out behind you. You can stay up on the hands, lower down onto forearms, or maybe stack fists, or even rest your forehead on the floor. If this causes too much stress on the knee or just feels inaccessible to you, you can take reclined pigeon by lying down on your back and creating a figure 4 shape and either nudging the knee or even reaching through and grabbing hold of the thigh or shin and hugging the knee in towards the chest. Whichever variation you are in, make sure you are breathing. And then we'll slowly release and step back to high plank. Lower down for Ashtangasana, 8-limb pose. Inhale for Cobra, Bhujangasana. And exhale into Downward Dog. Inhale, we'll step the left foot forward, drop the back knee. We'll set up for pigeon on the other side. So heel toe the foot across the mat. Take a peek over your shoulder. Make sure the back leg is straight out behind you. You might decide to take one variation on this side and a different variation on the previous side, whatever feels natural. So you can stay here or roll over onto the back and take reclined pigeon. A little bit of discomfort is okay. However, we want to avoid any sharp shooting, stabbing, or stinging pain. And then we'll slowly release from here. Coming into a seat with your feet and legs extended straight out ahead of you. If you have any props or cushions, might be a good idea to grab those now. Not necessary, but they can be useful. So we're going to set up for Janushirshasana. So keep the left leg extended and bring the sole of the right foot in towards the inside of the left leg. It can line up anywhere on that axis. If your right knee is quite high, a cushion underneath the knee is useful. And then line up your sternum with the foot and fold over the left leg. You can reach for the foot, the shin, the calf, whatever you can hold on to. And make sure you breathe. This is targeting the back side of the left leg. However, remember that if your hamstring is tight, you can also feel this in the glute and lower back. Inhale, come back up to vertical. We're going to set up for Janushirshasana B now. So for this variation, we'll actually sit on the heel. The heel will be underneath the perineum, and then the ball of the foot will be in that hamstring insertion point. If you can't sit on your heel, you can sit up on a cushion, a block, a couple of books, whatever's available to you, and just hug the foot in as close to you as you can. And then again, hinging over the leg and breathing. When you're ready, come on back up to vertical. Lift your hips, come off that foot. We're going to come into Janushirshasana C next. So you're going to hold on to your right heel with your left hand, creating a circle. You're going to take your right hand through that circle and grab your toes. Now hug the foot in as close as you can to the body. Bring the toes down the heel to the sky. If you feel like you let go, the foot will slip out from beneath you. Continue to hold on to the foot. If you can let go of the foot and it will stay in place, you can then readjust the hips if needed. And then begin to fold forward, maybe catch the foot and make this an active fold, breathing here. When you're ready, inhale and come on back up and use the hands to unwind yourself from that position, bringing the legs straight out ahead, give them a little wiggle, a shake. See if you can feel a difference between your left and right side before we go ahead and do that on the other side. So Janu-Shirshasana A comes first, the right leg extended, the sole of the left foot lines up on the inside of that right leg. Decide if you want a cushion or not, and then fold forward, lining the sternum up with the foot or shin. When you're ready, come on back up. And we'll set up for Janu-Shirshasana B. So here I'll show you, if you can't sit on the heel, you can sit up on a couple of cushions, give yourself a little extra height under the hips, and then just hug that heel in as close to the body as you can, and then fold forward, see if you can catch the foot, shin, or ankle. You might find that you have a different range of motion from one side to the other. When you're ready, come on back up. Carefully lift the hips. And we'll set up for Janu-Shirshasana C, so holding on to the left heel with the right hand. Then reach your left hand through that circle it creates to grab the toes. Hug the foot in as close to your body as you can. Bring the toes down, the heel to the sky. And if you can't let go, continue to hold on to the foot and just stay here and breathe. If you can let go of the foot, you can then readjust the hips if needed. And then maybe fold forward, catch the foot, shin, or ankle, and breathe. And then slowly release, use the hands to release out of the posture. Lean back into the hands, wiggle the feet, the legs, maybe windshield wiper the knees back and forth a few times. Paying attention to the sensations and see if there's any difference between the left and right side now that you have completed both sides. And once you've had enough of that, come onto all fours in a tabletop position where we'll set up for hero's pose. So untuck the toes, have the feet just wider than hip distance apart, and then knees together. Sink the hips back in between the heels. If this feels inaccessible to you, you can make it more accessible by sitting up on a couple of cushions, lifting the hips, or also spreading the knees a little bit wider, so starting perhaps in line with the feet and then eventually working the knees closer together. And with time as well, you can begin to lower off of the cushions. Take a few deep breaths here, smooth, steady breath. Remember that some discomfort is okay. However, we want to avoid feelings of sharp, shooting, stabbing, or stinging pain in the knee. And then with your next breath, come out into tabletop and put those cushions to the side if you've used them. We're going to rebound by extending one leg straight out behind and rocking the weight forward and back through the ball of the foot. Do this a couple of times and make sure you get both the left and the right side. Another way to rebound from hero's pose is also to come up into downward dog and pedal the legs out from there, whatever feels best. When that feels complete, return to tabletop and then take your left hand out to the side and thread the back of the hand through your right hand and right knee, taking your left ear to the mat as well, and actively press the back of the left hand and the forearm into the mat. Your right hand is there to support you, so I can say exactly where it is. You can walk the hand away from you, or you can bring the hand to the lower back for counterbalance. Find the best placement for you and breathe there. And then taking that right hand back underneath the shoulder, press yourself up to tabletop. Rebuild that foundation. And then moving over to the other side, take the right hand and thread it through the left hand and left knee, pressing the back of that hand and arm into the mat. Right ear is on the mat. If it feels too far away, you can always put a cushion underneath you as well. Left hand is there to support you, finding the best place for that. Make sure you can breathe. And then the left hand is going to crawl back underneath the shoulder and press yourself back up to tabletop, pausing there. From here, we're going to make our way onto our backs. Keep the soles of the feet planted on the mat about hip distance apart underneath the knees. And then palms down next to your hips, roll the shoulder blades under. Connect through the back of the head, the back of the shoulders, and the back of the pelvis. And then with an inhale, you're going to press through the feet and lift the hips up towards the sky. Coming into bridge. Keep your gaze fixed on the ceiling or sky, wherever you're practicing. When we move the neck side to side while in this inversion, that's when the neck can become vulnerable to injury. And with an exhale, lower the hips back down. We're going to do that one more time. With an inhale, lift the hips skyward. This time you may wish to interlace the hands underneath the back and press the forearms, rolling the shoulder blades under. Make sure that the knees stay in line with the feet. If you're struggling to breathe or holding your breath, you've gone a little bit too far. And with an exhale, roll the hips back down to the mat and hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a gentle squeeze, maybe even rocking a little side to side if that feels good. Holding on to the right knee or shin, extend the left leg back onto the mat. Taking the right knee outside the rib cage towards the armpit for wind relieving pose. Keep that left leg engaged, actively pressing it into the mat. And then we'll come into a reclined twist from here. Taking the right knee across the body, right arm out to T or cactus. Cactus is a 90-degree bend in the elbow. And if it's comfortable on your neck, doesn't cause any pinching, stinging, stabbing pain, you can look over the right shoulder. completing the twist from tailbone to the crown of the head. Make sure that the right shoulder remains connected to the mat. However, the hip, it can absolutely pull away. Bring your gaze to the sky first, and then bring both knees in towards your chest. Gentle squeeze here. See if you can feel a difference between your left and right side after having completed one side. And then hold on to the left knee and extend the right leg back on the mat, taking the knee outside the ribcage to the armpit for wind relieving pose on the other side. Right leg is engaged and connected to the mat. Setting up for the reclined twist, we'll take the left knee across the body and take the left arm out to your cactus. Make sure the left shoulder remains connected to the mat. An option to look over the left shoulder as well. We work from right to left side when twisting because that works with the digestive tract. And then slowly bring the gaze to center and knee to center. Giving yourself a little squeeze here, maybe rocking a little side to side. Feel the difference between left and right side now that you've completed both sides. And when you're ready, we're going to release down into Shavasana, corpse pose. This is your posture of complete relaxation and time for integration, so make yourself comfortable. Grab a blanket, cushions, whatever you need. You can rest the hands on the floor or on the body. Start to slow the breath, drawing the inhale in just a little bit slower than you want to. And releasing the exhale a little bit slower than you want to. Take a moment to reconnect with what you are grateful for. I invite you to explore this space, and I will bring you back when it's time. start to wake the body with subtle movement in your fingers and toes. Wrists and ankles. Awake your mind. And when you're ready, rolling over onto your right side. Spend at least one breath there as a transition. And when you're ready, we'll make our way into a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. Meeting with hands together at heart center. Take a moment to check in with your current physical state. Check in with your mental state, noting any shifts. And then reconnect with the intention you set at the beginning of class. The light in me recognizes the light in you. Namaste.